morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it is for you. I hope you're having a fantastic day or indeed night. The sun is shining really brightly. It's been quite warm recently. It's almost as if summer has hit quite early, at least where I am in the UK anyway. And I hope that is just the same for you. If not, I hope the sun shines very brightly for you as well very, very soon. So today I wanted to come on and talk about something a little bit different. That's what I love doing. Things that aren't really talked about enough or not talked about at all, I will pick up on and I will speak about because it's important. And it also means it's a fresh conversation. It's something fresh to hear for you guys as well. And it's just shining a light on something that's otherwise overlooked. And just because something is that way, just because something isn't talked about enough, doesn't mean that it's not important. And there is some part of a reason why I'm going to be talking about what I'm going to be talking about in this video, which I will explain later on. So stick around for that. And what I'm talking about is learning, education. Now, the saying of you learn something new every day is very true, at least in my opinion. I think that everyone learns something new at least once a week, if it isn't every day or every other day. In my case, it tends to be more or less every day. And I always strive to try and learn something new because it betters you and it betters whatever it is that bit of knowledge is relating to. So it's really important for an Amazon business owner to learn stuff in the Amazon space. Now, for some of you, that might sound like super common sense, but the trap that I find lots of sellers actually fall into, just because of how long they've been selling on Amazon, and they seem to set limits on their learning, and I don't quite understand that. I get that there's a point that you come to whereby you know lots of stuff about Amazon, you've had a lot of experience and so forth, and so there's a lot of things you're able to just handle, whereas before you experienced certain things or you watched that video or whatever, you might not have known it. Okay, so there's things that you come to know, and over time there ends up being a point where actually you don't have as much learning to do as, say, someone that is brand new to Amazon, and that's completely understandable, that's completely fine, but stuff changes. Remember, at the end of the day, we are using Amazon's platform, so if they make a change, we need to be able to adapt and be flexible enough to work around whatever it is that they've done or work through it or whatever it is that we need to do based on whatever change that they have implemented. Obviously, as a brand new seller, there are so many resources out there, a lot of which are actually on this channel, that teaches you how to sell on Amazon or how to do this or that, how to get into wholesale, how to analyze a deal, how to prep something. You know, there's loads of free educational resources out there that can help you with your knowledge. And even if you know about something, okay, say you've watched a video on how to analyze a deal, let's go for that one. Watch another video on how to analyze a deal, because by watching one video alone, sure, you'll probably have a lot of the foundation level stuff there, but if there's anything that you don't understand, then by watching another video and the way that people explain it, because everyone will explain things in a slightly different way, by doing things like that, you are actively broadening your learning. And if you don't understand something, the way that someone else explains it might then work for you, and then you get it and you're like, right, I see what they mean. And also, they might cover some slightly different points to what the person covered in the original video that you've watched. So like, say you watched someone explain how to read a sales chart, and they've explained looking at obviously BSR, profit, ROI, and so forth. They might miss out the importance of looking at your competition and the prices that they're selling for, and how many sellers you should ideally have on a listing, and someone might explain that in another video. So even if you've already watched a video about something, it's worth watching another one about the same kind of thing, so that way any potential gaps there are definitely filled. And that's what you have to make sure that you do things like that. Also, we shouldn't set limits on how much that we learn. So just because we've been selling on Amazon for, say, like a year or two, doesn't mean that we've been there, done that, seen everything there is to see. There can still be stuff that we don't know how to do, and it's about finding what we don't know. Is there anything that you kind of struggle with in your business? Like, is there anything that when it comes to it, it's a bit jarring and you're like, oh, this, and you feel like maybe you're taking more steps than you need to work around that, whatever it may be? Well, really getting hands in and learning about whatever it is can maybe help you plan around these things better, or shorten the process, or streamline, or whatever it is that benefits that area. You can find so many great educational resources out there, and it's not just on YouTube. There's TikTok, there is groups and forums out there, there's podcasts, there's online articles. There's so many places where you can learn now. And if you rewind, like say going back 10 years ago, there was a lot less. It feels like over the last 10 years the Amazon space has really gone and it's really expanded, and the people that are making content about it as well, and they are taking the time to inform others, I feel like that's grown massively as well. And so there's almost no excuse to watching someone or listening to someone and learning about something new. I think that it's a really good idea to try and strive to educate yourself about something in the Amazon world. And as I say, there will be a point where you've learned lots of stuff and you've experienced lots of stuff and you've handled certain things, and you get to a point where there is obviously a lot less to learn. I completely get that. But as I say, things change, people explain things differently, there's new tactics and things that are discovered and so forth, and maybe through your own learning you come up with your own sort of like special tactic on how to source or something like that only you know, or things that you find easier, that how you streamline your business based on bits and pieces that you've picked up from here, there and everywhere. There's so much benefit to learning in this space, because not only does it help you, obviously the effect is it helps your business, it helps your business processes. And I don't think it should ever stop. Like, I don't think there should be a point where we go, okay, I've sold for a year, that's it, there's nothing left for me to learn. I think that we should try and continue. And I get that it's hard amidst doing everything Amazon, doing all of your sourcing, all of your prep, managing a VA if you do any of that. I get that it can be a bit tougher to fit something like that in where you have a bit of time just to like surf YouTube or whatever it is. But if you have any time, say in your day or even your week, it doesn't have to be every single day, it can be like once a week or something like that, as long as you're taking some time every so often to see what there is to know, see what new bits of info are out there, then it's going to really help you, like massively, just like learning along the way has done. So if you ever find that there's some time where you're just scrolling and it feels a little bit aimless, you're just scrolling to fill some time or kill some time, turn that into a productive little time. Like, instead of just looking at whatever it is on TikTok and flicking through over and over and over and it feels a bit aimless, then next thing you know an hour's passed. Why not go, no, I'm not going to do that, and then look for something new to learn about on YouTube? And it doesn't directly have to be Amazon related, it could just be in general e-commerce related, because it could be that you do more than just Amazon, because obviously it's really wise to have secondary sales avenues and so forth for, say, anything that doesn't quite work on Amazon. Like, you might also sell a bit on eBay as well for anything that you have to recall from Amazon or whatever. So there could be a bit that you sell on eBay, so it might be worth learning something about eBay and improving that avenue, and therefore that one gets better. Even though it might be secondary, it gets better still. So it's a bit like when you go on a diet, like you have to like remind yourself and go, no, I'm going to be good, and then you just change tracks, and then you try and eat the salad, you give up the bag of sweets, and you go for some, I don't know, nuts or an apple or whatever. You have to try and get into that kind of habit, and if it is a bit hard if you know, as you get lost in the realm of TikTok or Instagram or whatever it is that you're on, to go, no, I'm actually going to use this time to learn something. But as you start getting into that habit, it gets a lot easier. And of course, have your free time, have your switching off time. Like, that's just as important for yourself, for like mentally, emotionally, for just being present with anyone that you live with or whatever. Like, having that downtime is super important as well. But having that little bit of time where you just take the time out to do a bit of learning, that's fine as well. So obviously I've said the word learning loads this video, and part of the reason why I'm saying this is because I've seen some people in some comment sections here and there, and it's getting a little bit jarring now, saying that Amazon is going downhill, that it's dead, which is absolutely not true. There's a million reasons as to why that's not true. I'm not going to talk your ear off by going through all of those reasons. I might do that in a later video, but not this one. That is absolutely not true. I'm just gonna say that now. I can vouch for that. Loads of sellers on the platform can vouch for that as well. But part of the reason why people say that is because they've fallen for that get rich quick scheme idea that some gurus out there are pumping out, which is absolutely not true. There is just a heightened chance of getting rich because obviously there's no limits as to how much you can potentially earn through Amazon each month. So the potential is significantly increased, but it's by no means a get rich quick scheme. It never has been. It never will be. So the people fall for that, and then they don't bother to look elsewhere for information. And some people don't do so well because they do set limits on how much they learn. In fact, they might not even look at a single YouTube video and just go in and wing it, which I wouldn't say is the wisest thing to do by any means. Or they learn the very, very, very core basics, but say they don't learn just outside of that bubble to the next set of things, like, I don't know, repricing or whatever, and then they fall down just due to lack of knowledge. So that is a huge reason some of the huge reasons as to why some people are saying that sort of thing. But as I say, there's a million other reasons. We're not going to go into it in this video. That's why learning is important. You have a problem, see if you can learn about it. Okay, as I say, it's about being adaptive, it's about being flexible and working around or through these things or over these things or whatever it is you need to do to get past the problem. Have a fantastic day. Pick up a YouTube video, a podcast, an article, whatever it is at some point. Have a look through, and hopefully that helps you on your Amazon business. Have a great day.